You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns, because one thing is starting to look more and more clear. Deshaun Watson is going to have some company. He's going to have some kind of competition. He's going to have some kind of a legit quarterback behind him or in front of him or competing with him for the spot on this team. And ESPN, one of their writers, is coming out and saying now that there's some fire around the idea that they may actually have two legit quarterbacks on the roster competing against Deshaun Watson. I don't know if they view one of them as possible trade bait down the road, if one of the two of them work out. But I think the Cleveland Browns believe that they got a very good roster, and they do. They got one of the best rosters in the league, certainly one of the better defenses in the league, and they got legit weapons on offense in Njoku, Amari Cooper, and we'll see whether or not Nick Chubb comes back healthy, if they're able to restructure or if he gets cut. Do they re-sign Kareem Hunt, or do they go out and get somebody like Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley? Nonetheless, we all know Deshaun Watson's shoulder is jacked up. We also know Deshaun Watson's only played 11 or 12 games in 2 years for all kinds of reasons. That also makes you wonder, is there something going on behind the scenes involving Deshaun Watson's legal issues? Because we know that there is, I did a video the other day about the fact that it looks like he may be called in to testify in one of those lawsuits again. All right? Now, the other thing is, down in Houston, a grand jury, they can call another grand jury. All right? Now, I know the Houston police believe they had enough to convict Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct criminally, all right? That was a thing down there. The police did an investigation. They turned it over to the DA, believing, in fact, there's a belief down in Houston out of the police, they can't believe that he wasn't indicted. And that maybe he got a little home cooking down there. Well, he's not in Houston anymore. You know, it does make you wonder, is there some fire going on there from a legal standpoint that would make a team think about, even the winds blow, to think about bringing in two quarterbacks? The Browns may not need Deshaun Watson to be great for the team to succeed in 2024. In fact, they may not need Watson to be anything at all. This is heavy.com, but this article is by way of ESPN. Two quarterbacks not named Deshaun Watson have each had a better run with the franchise over the last 2 years, respectively. Jacoby Brissett in 2022, Joe Flacco in 2023. Boys, say that out loud. I mean, two of the best three quarterbacks on this team, the two best quarterbacks have not been Deshaun Watson. $230 million, fully guaranteed. Just a gargantuanly awful move. On Friday, February 23rd, Aaron Schatz of ESPN suggested a, quote, bold move in which Cleveland signs one, if not both, to compete for the starting job with Watson this offseason. In 2022, Brissett had a 62 QBR while Watson had a 40.4 QBR. Then last season, Flacco had a 48.3 QBR, while Watson was below him at 42.9 QBR. The Browns need to bring in competition and have a backup plan in case Watson starts off 2024 playing subpar football again. I will remind everybody, he's had 1.25 to 1.5 good games since he has been traded to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, really and truly, we're over 3 years removed from Deshaun Watson playing good football. I mean, that's a long time. Flacco has expressed a desire to continue his career despite his age at 39. Browns would be happy to see him back. Brissett's 2022 numbers stand out when we look at his career, but Browns might as well sign him to a cheaper deal and see if they can make the magic happen again. Any of these options would at least protect the Browns and keep them from wasting another strong defense with bad play. It goes on to talk about the fact that the Browns seem to be committed. We know Stefanski named Watson to be the starter basically as soon as the offseason started. He's doing great in his rehab, Stefanski said of Watson. On January 14th, following the Browns' loss to the Houston Texans on Super Wildcard Weekend, quote, "I'm confident he'll be ready to roll." Watson underwent season-ending surgery to repair his throwing shoulder November 2023. Mary Kay Cabot at Cleveland.com reported earlier this week that the quarterback is on the cusp of a major milestone in his rehab. Watson will begin throwing soon, a league source told Cleveland.com. Cabot wrote on February 19th, Watson, who only had the fractured glenoid bone repaired and not his strained rotator cuff, returned to the UCLA weight room this week, which is a big step in this comeback bid. Man, part of Watson's problems over 2 years with Cleveland has been simple availability. He missed 11 games in 2022 due to an NFL suspension and missed 11 contests again last season due to injury. Wow, that's absolutely nuts. So out of a possible 35 games, he's missed 22. That's not a good sign. It really isn't. It's not a good sign. But even when Watson has been on the field, he hasn't been particularly good. He produced a QBR above 62 only once in 6 starts last season while taking 17 sacks, throwing just 7 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. Watson completed less than 59% of his passes in 4 of those 6 games per ESPN. That's one of the most troubling stats, is the fact that his completion percentages turned into total trash. You know, I mean, that means you're just not even working the offense down the field with reliability, and that's a problem. That's a real problem. Now, look, Cleveland's going to have competition for Flacco. So's Cleveland going to have competition for Brissett. All right, because I think Brissett is going to be a real viable option as a bridge quarterback slash starter that a backup that could start for the New England Patriots. I think you're going to see Brissett end up going to the Patriots. Might not. Might go back to the Browns. There was a lot of fire. He almost got traded back there last season around the trade deadline. It came very, very close. And they opted to not do it, and they came out lucky because they got Flacco, and Flacco played so well. But it was crazy. I mean, I think they only wanted a 4th for Brissett, and I was like, it's a disastrously bad decision to not just flip a 4th over there and let him go out there and play for Watson. You know? But again, I think New England's going to be in on Brissett. Flacco, I have no idea where he may end up. I don't. Part of me believes he's coming back to Cleveland. He's going to end up being the backup, and, you know, we can only hope he ends up being the starter because of how fun that situation was. He obviously is very good in this offense that Stefanski runs, and he's very comfortable in it too. Tell me what you think. Sign both of them? I don't know about that. That's a lot of money tied up in the QB room. A lot. But the cap is also a lot higher than they thought it was going to be. You know, they originally thought the cap was going up to $240. It went up to $255. That's an extra $15 million to play with for these NFL teams. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.